Okay. So, as Ash, what do you need to do? So, what you need to do as Ash is you need to find a very juicy angle um, besides your core. So, like somewhere on the side, and a nice angle on the enemy team where you can just pump out damage, where you can pressure the enemy team, where you can not shoot shields, but where you have direct access to the enemy team's backline slash squishies. Um, yeah, that is basically what you need to do. It sounds very simple, but you need to be very aware of where the enemy team is, where your team is, but then also you need to know the map and then need to know positions where you can be or like where you have to be. Okay, this is already pretty, I mean, kind of risky. I mean, your Ryan is shielding you, sure. Um, but if if this Widowmaker would have been 2 centimeters more to the left, she would she would have killed you. Look at her. Like, shield, shield, shield. So you're trying to pump out some damage, which is fair, which is good. But I just don't like the position where you're starting. This is just way too exposed. Like way too open. Way too easy to deal with. So what I would like you to do instead is you can be like over here where your Hanzo is, trying to shoot like this. But then also most importantly, use your dynamite. Right? You don't really see any squishies right now, so I mean after the bubble, I guess you could see to dynamite the Reinhardt, or maybe you can get someone like the Ashe, the Anna here. I mean you see the Ashe, you dynamite her, but it's not really as impactful because you can't kill her, right? You're just forcing her out of the off angle, which is fine, but you don't need to use your dynamite for this, right? Because instead you could have just pressured their front line, or like I don't know, even pressure the Ana with the dynamite would be better because then you're just kind of the healing kind of in a sense. But yeah, this is too risky. Like they have Widow, you need to know this. And furthermore, it's just the position where you're playing. I just really don't like it. Um, because you're playing very linear to your team. Like the Reinhardts are battling each other, and you're basically standing on top of them. Instead, where you should be, I mean, your Hans already has this side, so you don't need to be with him. So what you could do instead is just be here on this side. Right? If you stay here, if you shoot the Reinhardt, shoot the Zari, get some like TNTs in from the side, this is going to be much harder for them to deal with, and it's going to be easier for you to land shots. Because if you see like this, I mean, nice skill, sure, but like you're already half HP. Could have picked another, uh, like another. She could have picked again, and then you would be dead. So if you are already or if you are already here, yeah. So this is good, right? This you can do this. This is really good, right? Why? Because the enemy team is going main and they're all focused on your Rhine, so you creeping up behind and you throw in a dynamite and then maybe and getting this Lucio. So this is really good. But then you overstayed your welcome. They already know that you're there. You don't have anything to shoot, so you need to go out immediately. And please heal. So and this again is then already pretty questionable as well, because you're sitting on low ground, on main, where again everyone can just shoot you. You don't want to use Reinhardt shield. This is so not interesting for you. You want to be somewhere on an angle where you can shoot above their Reinhardt shield because you want to get picks, right? You want to be here, throw in dynamites, or again, what would be better is playing on this side, right? Dealing with this widow, shooting them in the back here, right? And if you need healing, you just coach gun back here, and you're fine. Or you go back here where you can still shoot things, but you have some form of an angle as well. As well, I mean, you're just holding your dynamites for way too long. Let's think. But yeah, you just saw like during this whole fight you didn't really do anything. Besides like shooting tanks and getting a dynamite in or two. But your pressure was not really existent. Okay, and for this as well, this is just, I mean, you can already see the widow. She is probably going to kill you because the position you're playing again is just not on an angle, right? You're still stuck at main. You need to go like over here, right? Let the enemy team walk out. You can shoot the same things from here or from here, but it makes you just so much harder to kill, and you have so much better angles. It's so much harder to deal with. Also, you're just playing in the open here. If this widow would just decide to stay there, I mean, she went away because your Hanzo helped you, so you got carried by Hanzo. But if you would continue playing here, that would just be no problem for the widow to kill you, because you're just playing in the open. And for this as well, like look, you're shooting shields or shooting the Reinhardt. Instead, if you're here, what would this do? I mean, you can directly shoot the Ashe, you can directly shoot the Lucio, you can maybe even, where's the window? Directly shoot the Diana who's peeking there. And furthermore, right now, what do you think is the focus of the enemy team? Well, it's on the Reinhardt, right? Their Ryan, their Lucio, their Zarya, their Ana, their Ashe, they're all focusing your Reinhardt. How easy is it now for them to shoot you, or like to change their focus onto you? Well, it's pretty easy, right? They just look up, they shoot you. But instead, if you're here, you're splitting their attention so hard, which is not only helpful for you, because again, everyone is focused on their Rhine, so you can just stand here for free, but it also helps your Rhine, because now not everyone is focused on him. So you're taking the opportunity for yourself to deal more damage and to increase the chance that you're getting a pick, and at the same time you're releasing pressure of your team. Like look what your Hans is doing here. He's hard pressuring the Reinhardt, which now forces him to go back. If every one of you, or like both of you DPS here, would just stand here, this would not really be a problem. And then for this as well, like you just slept, because it's just so easy to deal with you. And now your Rhine goes even deeper, but because of your position, you can't follow him. If you were here, then there will still be a pressure, and your Rhine, I mean, he probably doesn't want to stay here, but in theory, he could. Now you're going for it, which is good. Dynamite, you sort of whiffed it? No, you didn't. Okay. It kind of looked like it. Don't peek it, they have... Yeah, they have sights, you don't want to peek this. Just wait it out, you can't do anything. You didn't even take the Mega. And... did they still have sights? Yeah, they still had sights. So, what should you done instead? You thrown the dynamite. You could have, you should have probably now looked to rotate over here and try to shoot the enemy team from here. Because for this, then you have a bit more cover also for the Widowmaker. right? You can play over here, and she still can't shoot you from this position, while keeping up the pressure. So you probably should just coach gun away and try to rotate over here, or maybe even like drop on like go back, drop here, and then try to shoot from here to get like an angle from this. Um, yeah, but you can already see like you can't shoot anything, but you still need to keep up the pressure. Why? Because you need to put out Bob. Like the enemy team is investing ults as well now. They used Infra, they used Beat, they used Shatter, while you only used, I mean you used both tank ults. Uh, yeah, but now your team is under so much pressure. They also use Nano and Grav. Um, and doing all this, you didn't do anything. And then you peek the same angle again, although they still had sights up. So this is really good as well. I probably would have preferred for you to go on high ground because it's just again part of to deal with you, and at the same time you can deal with the widow. Um, but this is a good beginning. You whiff your dynamite, bam, you just win. So, and like, why do we win? Well, you sent Bob on point. Now he's on an off angle. Their Lucio, instead of trying to finish off the Rhine, or like your Rhine, or like trying to protect his Rhine, he's going for you. Right, you boop him in, and he dies. This is splitting attention. He also has Bob though, which is also really good for splitting attention. Don't jump there. You don't want to jump. So this is not really effective for you. You don't, again, you don't want to stand behind your shield shooting their shields. What you want again is staying here with your Ana and waiting for the enemy team to turn around this corner or like push past this corner, or dealing with people who are shooting from here. I mean, you also now have an Ana there, which means you can stay here and like stay here. Instead of like retreating, get some heal or like get Maga, so you can literally stay here and like you take damage, you get healed up, you peek again. Or you just, again, wait for the enemy team to go back here, and then you pressure them from the side. But you're just shooting shields. But this is not how you generate ult charge, and this is not how you get picks. And picks is really important when you play Ashe. Right, you're just shooting shields, you're wasting so many shots on a range shield. Then I think you also missed your dynamite, and then you coach gun on a high ground where the enemy Ashe has all the sight lines, and you definitely should have died to this. So you started at a bad position, and then you went to a bad position. Okay, don't pick this. Okay, you can pick it with a shield. Wasted dynamite. And they just use sights, and you wanted to go back anyway. That's interesting. I didn't know you can stand there. Huh, interesting. Okay, so let's look at the positioning again. So how effective are you if you stand on top of here when the enemy team is going under? Well, you can do a bit of work, but what is the the biggest danger here? Well, people peeking from other angles, right? The same thing you technically want to do, right? Be on another angle where you can see squishies and where you can split attention. Because if this Widow now peeks here while you stand on high ground, you're dead. If this Ashe peeks you here while you're shooting the main core, you're dead. So instead, again, if you're sitting here, I mean, of course, this Widow can still peek you, but it's easier for you to see it, and this Ashe over here can't do anything. And also, if we just look at like this, if they walk out like this, and your team is here, you're shooting from here, which is basically the same angle. But if you're shooting from here, it's a little bit deeper, right? Especially if you look at the Ryan's shield right now. Because you can shoot past this shield and inside this room. See, Ashe peaks. Sure. I mean, the other thing is it's very questionable. Like, I mean, it's just really weird because of your starting position, or because your starting position was bad anyway. But the moment where the enemy team pushes through and when they want to do anything, you just decide, oh, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna help my team. I'm not gonna shoot them, but I'm just gonna rotate, which is just very, very bad timing. See, like they nanoed the Ryan. They're pushing forward. They killed Genji. They killed Zarya. They killed Ryan. They used Lamp. Your Ana was probably dead here. And what did you do? Well, you rotated. Even like going back and like shooting the enemy team from here, or honestly just hiding on top of here and again waiting for the enemy team to pass and then shooting them from above like this. This would be way better than rotating to a position where they are not. Like you're peeking this window right now, but where is the fight? Is the fight over here? No, it's over here. So the position you are right now is just useless, to be harsh. A bit risky, but okay. I still would like you to use your dynamites way more often. So they cap, you go on high ground. You try to pressure them, sure. You know where the Widow is. I don't know why you're shooting Lucio then. Because you need to be ready for the Widowmaker to peek. I mean, it's not wrong to shoot him, but you still need to be ready for it. Because right now, when the Widow peeked and shot you, it doesn't seem like you were ready for it. But this is just like dynamite, 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 dynamite. Now Widow peeks. Now you can't go. Now you just walk into Ashe's LOS, right? But you pressure away, and here again, like dynamite, 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 dynamite. And then you use it, and the result is only a Reinhardt. Okay. Another thing. So another way to make it easier for your frontline to survive without pressuring their frontline is just by completely distracting their backline. So what I mean is, if your team is getting hard pushed right now, I mean, your team is in open space, they're getting grabbed, you're already one person down. The only way you're gonna win this if you get picks. And you won't get picks by shooting tanks. So in this situation, instead of going like over here, like I mean, doing the Ashe is fine, but like after this, what you honestly should have done, instead of dropping and like going back to your team, you should have gone over here and even deeper, where you can like shoot the Widow again or like dynamite the Anna. Um, but yeah, at this point you just need to be hyper aggressive, especially on your angles, because that's how you win. Because they already engaged, they are already aggressive, you are in a number disadvantage, so the only way you're gonna win this is by fast picks or like trades as it's called. But you're not gonna get them by dynamiting a Reinhardt. This one just go out. Yeah, you're just kinda staggering. Mm, so I don't really like this Bob. So you picking two snipers, which is just bad. You don't want to pick two snipers when you only are, well, one sniper. And then you use Bob, but for like what reason? It is fine to like, Bob the Reinhardt if you want to stop him. If he's just running in your team, so you stop him so he can't move, right? But he's literally retreating right now. So a better position for this Bob, if it's even needed in this situation, because your team is in spawn pushing two or like four people, I guess. A better position would be again somewhere on an angle, like over, I don't know, over here maybe, or maybe like like sort of inside, where Bob then can shoot people from behind. But then at the same time, it's not really as effective because it's the start of the fight, and their Ana can just sleep your Bob. So the Bob timing and placement here is not really good. Uh, I like your idea. Like you want to be aggressive, like go on an angle. But I mean, they were still on high ground, so this is just way too risky. You should die. For this whole fight, honestly, what you should have done is, because your whole team is rolling out through here, you you should have looked to roll out over here. But just like in general, just because of your sidelines, because if you stay over here, like this is really good sidelines, right? But everyone can shoot you as well if you don't have a shield in front of you. And being here is just very, 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 very bad sidelines. So as Ashe, you probably want to roll out over here where you have cover, but you can still see a lot of things, right? And the other thing is just for angles, like flanks as well, right? Because you can peek main, you can peek over here, you can peek like this if the round is like over here. You can flank like this, where you can deepen your angle a bit, where you can shoot squishies like behind the Reinhardt shield, but you have also easy access to the high ground. And you can just pressure out these two. This is actually really scary. But yeah, and then you waste Bob, and then the moment where you actually go on an angle is at a timing where they still have people on high ground. With the result that you should have died. And for this, honestly, so like you kill Zarya, you kill Ryan, and at this point, honestly, uh, you could have gone over here. Do you have Coach Gun? I mean, you're close to Coach Gun. You could have gone over here, right? Pinch the 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 Ana, which means like your team's going from here and you're going from the other side, and then the Ana doesn't have a way to go. like go over here, shoot her, or like wait for your coach gun, and then go on high ground and like duel the Widow or the Ashe like this, or shoot the Ana from above. But you're going main again, and this was really good, like mechanically, but you can already see like if a Widow's here and an Ashe is here, and you coach getting right in between. The execution though was really clean. But see, like this Ana escapes, which I mean it doesn't mean much, but I mean you could have farmed your ultimate a bit more. Also, if you kill her, then they just have to wait more, right? But she escaped, which is unfortunate. Hmm. So, why is this peak bad? So, you take a lot of damage with this peak, and then you do another peak right here. So, why is this bad? Well, look at your team. Do you see how you are sort of like frontlining in a sense? You never want to peek the enemy team, especially now that they have two snipers. You never want to peek the enemy team to spam them if you're alone. Or like, let me say like this as well. You only want to peek the enemy team if it's still a team fight. So if your team can do something with it. If it's a 6v6, right? But right now you're peeking the enemy team, which makes it, I mean, not a 6v1 because they're on us in spawn, but it's still a 1v1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you just nano blade it. Got some picks. Um, for this, I would just say as well. I mean, you waste your coach gun completely, and then afterwards you're in a position like, how much cover do you have? None. So instead, you should again look to play over here, where you then, I mean, look at this. You can just peek the Ana without anyone shooting you. You can peek here with a lot of cover. You can shoot. I mean, you can still shoot tanks, but you can still, like at the same time, shoot squishies. But you're playing in the open, where if this Widow now peeks you, where is she? She grabs up, right? But now you went to cover. But if you're here and she grabs up there, you're dead. Just don't play in the open. Mm, if you want to dynamite him, which is fine in my opinion, because I mean he's sort of feeding and you can kill him very quickly, but you should engage with the dynamite instead of trying to shoot him and then dynamite. Mm, look at this again. I mean, I guess you weren't really aware of like the situation, or like that your tanks were all dead and their tanks were just pushing you. Unlucky. Okay, then let's quickly go over attack. I think you play Tracer now. Okay. Just as a summary, just for your Ashe, first of all, use your dynamite more. It's a big thing first of all, but then the biggest like macro concept you just need to work on is angles, right? Position yourself where you can shoot squishies instead of shooting tanks and shields. right? So I mean, I guess you can put it like overall under positioning. I don't think your aim is bad. I don't think it's a problem. I guess you can just put it under positioning. But if you want to be more specific, just create angles if you want if you want to put it like this, right? Create angles, uh, be more aggressive, and use dynamite. Also work on bobs. Okay. So for tracer, it's similar things. So you still want to go, on angles, you want to go on flanks. Um, you want to pressure out enemies on flanks, so they are forced to join their team. But you want to use your mobility to, or like in a nutshell, go on flanks, pressure out enemies, go on flanks, take flanks, and use them for your own engagement, so you can engage the enemy team from an angle. Okay, this is already. Like, what are you doing? You use 2 blinks while no one is even looking at you, and then you use another blink to go over. Why are you using like you use all your blinks to just walk into a widow, just like this? You can't do this. Just take your time. Like your team is still all the way back here. Just walk here, or like walk under. Walk here. Look if no one's looking at you, and then go this way. Right, but you don't need to use blinks just to move around the map. Okay, now I want you to just continue your flank. Right, sure they maybe know that you're there, but the enemy team is pushing you. Right, so right now I want you to continue your flank, and then go like maybe on top, or like just go here and try to like one clip one of these people. You're just way too slow, and you're just wasting blinks. So you're really slow. Let's go even back further. So you're just standing here. You're not doing anything. Now you're very slowly sneaking to the enemy team while they already got a pick. If you would be faster, this would not happen. And then you're so slow that she already expects you to be there. She's scoping at you, which is dangerous. Then you use a blink and another blink. Like she already used her shot. So like this. So you blink. This is fine. You want to close the distance, right? Hit shots. Then she shoots, which means she cannot shoot again until she is charged enough. But you use a blink, which is, I mean, maybe you use the blink to like because of Anna, sure, fine. But then you use a blink again, where you blink inside the Anna, not Ashe, Anna. But like this widow, she's not even charging a shot. This is not a McCree who can just flick around or like quickly flashbang you, where you have to be very quick with your blinks to dodge shots or flashbang. It's a widow. You blink once, you're in her, you try to kill her. If the Anna comes close, you blink again to like dodge the Anna, and you keep shooting the widow. If she scopes in before she shoots, you blink again. But you're just wasting blinks very, very, very fast. And now you also need. No. What's hard? So you waste blinks, therefore you took a lot of damage. Therefore, you had to use your recall really, really, really early, and then after this, Now you don't have any blinks and you don't have a recall, so instead of going out, like you should have gone inside here, like go away from them, you take the 2v1 without any cooldowns and you're 1 HP. Now you use both blinks and you're dead. You need to use your blinks way smarter than this. And you can't use recall this early. Okay, this here your reaction time was just slow. So let me go back this. So you roll out, sure, fine. I'm not really a fan of you rolling out here, but like okay. Like you're shooting Zarya once to like get a blink, fine, but then you're shooting a Reinhardt instead of going for the Widow. And then after she shot and she used grapple, now you're turning for her. This is also just really risky. Yeah, this is too risky. So she's already out. She has a lot of distance to you. You don't have 3 blinks, and she knows that you're there. She's pre-scoping, right? So you can't take it, take the stool that way. The other thing is, look where the fight is. I mean, your ball is feeding, sure, but you're the only besides your ball who's 1 HP, you're the only person they can shoot. Your team is all the way back here. So instead of going for this Widow, damn it. I have other hotkeys on this account. Instead of going for this Widow, you should have either just hide here or even like go and sit here. Try to go for a flank in like this way. Or I guess it's the best. The other thing I would have suggested is go over here, but this doesn't really give you anything. But yeah, so you die. I mean, you even got shot by the Ashe because I mean, again, you're the only person they can shoot. Your timing is just really off. Okay, just go back. Don't feed. Just go and spawn if you need to. Stop feeding. Nice picks. You did something with it. It could have been much worse. Okay, so the fight was won. They're going back. Instead of you just chilling here and like being AFK, I want you to keep chasing them and like shoot Ryan or like set up immediately. Right? You just want to fight. You could have tried sort of to follow up on the powder, but that's not important. You just want to fight, so you don't want to be just sitting AFK. You want to go forward and try to set up for the next fight, right? Which means, I mean, if you have that much time, then you want to go like somewhere over here where you can contest this angle where the Widowmaker is, like this, like where you have access to high ground. You have this side, which also means if your team goes from here, the enemy team is from here, you have a very strong angle like this, right? You can just directly shoot in the enemy team's back. Or, I mean, right now you don't have that much time, I guess, so you could look to chase these people, like blink over here, shoot them like this, or like continue the flank where I guess you could go on top of this I got, although it's very dangerous. This is not good. Stop using 3 blinks. Like, you use 2 blinks just to close the distance, and then you used another blink to go behind her. And now you're forced to recall really early. This, like, it was a good kill. Like, it's good that you got the kill, but you invested way too much, and the risk was also just, again, way too big. one extra shot from their Ana or from, I don't know, another swing or some Zarya laser, so, and you're dead. Okay, now the question is, where do you sit up? You need to be ready for the next fight. And right now, sitting on card here is just a very, 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 very bad position. I do not want to see a Tracer on card ever. I want you to be here with your Lucio. See, like your Ryan is already hiding for a Shatter, but I want you to be here. Why? Because you can control the Widow really, really easily from here. If she goes low ground, you just drop on her. If she goes like into you, you just kill her. If she goes high ground, you just walk up to here, you blink in her face, and you kill her. Right? And then the other thing is, if there's no one flanking of them, if they're all coming up this way, and there's none of them flanking, the fight will be over here. And if you are on the high ground over here, again, you can create a very, very easy angle for yourself. And as we learned, you will deal more damage and you will split attention, right? I never want to see you standing on cart here. Like, this is just bad. Why are you on cart? I guess there's an argument for you pushing cart if your Ana wants to play further back, because then you're kind of, like, sort of the only person who sits on cart. And yeah, because your ball and your Lucio are also pushing people. So I guess there's an argument if your Ana wants to play further back, and then if the enemy team comes, like pushes out, you quickly blink over here. But yeah, you're shooting a Rhine shield. What are what are your blinks? Come on, why are you blinking that much? So you use a blink here to get behind the Rhine, which is fine. Like, you can stay here, but then you use a blink where you blink into the open in front of the Rhine, in front of your Rhine, and then you use another blink to again go behind the Rhine. Now, this is too messy. You need to use your blinks way more methodical. You can't just spam them. Because, like, right now, I mean, sure, you use a blink here, but this is still way too sketchy. You don't have these blinks for mid-fights. You need to use them, or you need to save them way more. You can't just blink 3 times in a row while you're still fighting. So like, you're dueling the Ana, but you don't have any blinks. See how you're choking? Now you engage on her again, but you don't have any cooldowns. Stop engaging without cooldowns. Also, I feel like maybe I explained this whole angle thing. Like, you sit up here and then try to go for angles. Maybe I explained this too fast. If so, then just explain me. Like, DM me if you want to have further explanations. Alright, so overall, what is your target? Just look at this comp, take 5 seconds, and tell me what is your target. So what I want you to go for is you should hard engage on this Widowmaker and this Ana. You do not care about the ball, you don't care about the Kree, you don't care about the Lucy, you don't care about the Rhine. I just want you to use the map, and I want to see you going around the map, going on flanks where you can harass their backline and make these people like we can disable these people so they can't do anything, right? You're shooting a Reinhardt here on low ground. I mean, you can farm your ult. I mean, but they don't really care. The Reinhardt's just gonna hold shield, and the Ana will just heal him up, and they will farm nano. And like, you dueling the McCree here is also just not in your favor. Like, why would you duel a McCree who can one-shot you instead of you going on a flank where you can just, I mean, you don't even need one clip to kill this Widowmaker. You can literally kill her. I don't know, what is it? Half a clip? 10 shots? I don't know. No, not that much, but half a clip and you just kill her. And what does this give you? I mean, your team has so much more freedom of what they want to do. Your Ana can peek way more. Your ball can focus on something else. Your Hanzo can be much more aggressive. Your Lucio can focus on like speeding Rhino, like to go on like something else, right? But like you going for a Kree here doesn't really help. Like you killed a Kree, but was it like needed you? I mean, the Kree was walking in a Hanzo and an Ana, and he even killed the Hanzo, but then would have died to the Ana. So I mean, what you're doing here doesn't matter. You shouldn't be here. You should be here on the high ground, right? Kill this Widow. Force out the Ana, so their Reinhardt can't do anything as well. Right? It's not only that when you're focusing the Ana, that you're only focusing the Ana, you're also just disabling the whole team. Because if the Ana is occupied with you, she can't heal, and if she can't heal, the Reinhardt can't push. And if the Reinhardt can't push, your team can. Like, this should give you physical pain. This should give you physical pain. You're using 2 blinks to go main in the open without any form of cover on low ground into the Widow LOS with 98 HP. If you see this, please don't do this. And then you use another blink to close the distance, and now you're fighting, but you do not have any blinks. And then you're focusing a Reinhardt and a ball instead of going for the Ana. And then the moment where you focus the Ana, you don't have any cooldowns. That is why you struggle so hard. You're not thinking about any flanks you can use, you're not thinking about the targets you can go for, and you're not really keeping in mind that you can't fight if you don't have any cooldowns. Alright. I'm just gonna leave it like this. If you have any questions, like further questions to anything, just DM me. Yeah, other than this, thanks for watching. Have a good day.